there was something that was like a little bit more of a needle mover. And it was Brandon Graham. Because Brandon Graham, as we know, retired. Brandon Graham, as we know, had a fairy tale ending to his career. Brandon Graham came back from a torn tricep, retore the tricep in Super Bowl 59. And yet, this dude is talking about maybe not being retired after all. Now, if you haven't heard this yet, this is the beauty of this show. We're having a fun Friday here. Brandon Graham was on Up and Adams with Kay Adams. And he had a couple of interesting things to say. Now, in fairness, I don't think he's coming back. And I certainly don't think that if Brandon Graham were to come out of retirement, it's now going to go play for another team. But he had the fairy tale ending. Tore the tricep, came back from it, retore it in the Super Bowl, helped the team win a Super Bowl, second of his career. Jim Cochran asks, is Brandon Graham Jason Petersing? I certainly hope not. But we are going to throw out to here really quick to Up and Adams. We're going to listen to where Brandon Graham's head was at. Now, I think he did a couple of appearances yesterday, and this was the one that was the most notable, made the most headlines. But let's go over to BG.
How retired are you?
I'm 90% retired.
I'm sorry, Brandon. Can you run that back really quickly? Let's just go back.
How retired are you?
I'm 90% retired.
90%. You had the storybook ending. We all felt good for you. Why 90? Seems kind of crazy. All right, let's keep going.
I'm 90%.
Now, do we think he's serious?
I love that. That's my favorite answer. God, you have given me such gold over the years, and that is the best answer. You're 90%. Okay, let's break it down. The 90 I get. Baby girl, retirement, the torn tricep. What's the 10? What's the 10? What's the 10?
Before he gets to the 10, let me know in the comments. Do you think that Brandon Graham should make it 100%? Do you go out with the storybook ending, or does it make more sense to you for Brandon Graham to leave the door open? Like, could there be a scenario here where you say, you know what, Brandon Graham, let's keep the guy, keep the options open. Maybe he doesn't want to do training camp. Maybe you'll need him later on in the regular season. He just stays in shape and then he can slide right in. Let me know. But I think it's time to be done. But all right, 10%.
The 10 is how much I want to continue to train the way I'm training. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to look good and training the way training to train for a game is different, but I haven't really changed that yet. I just want to go out there and speed it up to where I want to look good, make sure that I'm staying fit, and while I'm still rehabbing my arm. And
so let's break that part of it down really quick. Let's just break that a little bit down. So the idea that he's still training like he would be to play in games, albeit while rehabbing the retorn tricep, you have to respect it. And you have to respect the fact that he's trying to stay in good shape. I mean, in fairness, you do try to stay in as good of shape as you can, especially when you're rehabbing, coming back from a surgery, coming back from a torn muscle. You don't want to just become lethargic. It stands to reason that better conditioning is going to probably have your body kind of ramped up and in better shape for you to rebound from a significant injury, which he's now had twice within the same season. So I don't hold it against him for being like, oh yeah, I'm still training like I'm going to be playing games. But all right, let's go back.
Making sure when I do retire, I'm staying in the habit of that, because a lot of guys tell me when they leave, you got to make sure you stay in the habit of working out, doing what you do, because this is our first time really being off and not really having to train for anything. So I got a new motivation. It's just to look good, because if I'm gonna be on TV and want to talk and have my suits on, I got to be looking good. So and I want to be healthy for my kids, like you said.
All right, so I like the line about TV, because we all know that Brandon Graham has, for the longest time, been kind of destined to go out and have a job in TV, to have a career beyond the field as a talking head, as a pundit. You got to make sure that those suits fit nice. I can respect that. And he says wants to be healthy for his kids. Okay.
Family. And Yeah, I got a new motivation now. So that 10% is just in case, but I doubt it because I try to be a man of my word, and I don't want to have to play up in that back and forth stuff. I'm just gonna accept it and just move on and
Yeah.
get ready for what's next because I feel like I'm gonna make the next thing great. You know what I'm saying?
You will.
He's got to be done. He has to be done. You can't tell Philadelphia that you're retired, get all of the love, and then say, no, I'm going to run it back. No, don't do that. Don't do that, Brandon. You're very loved. You were almost not very loved after the whole thing on WIP talking about the issue between Hurts and A.J. Brown. If the season had gone sideways, maybe not quite as loved there. But you brought it back. You put your body on the line, but you got to stay retired. Enjoy the family. You helped deliver this team the only 2 Super Bowls in the history of the franchise. Go out on top. But when you do, make sure that you don't have a brother who plays for another team who starts dating a world famous pop star and then forces you to apparently not hold the 100% loyalty to the team that you played your entire career with. I'm not saying that. There are other people, though. Other people are saying out there, just somewhere in the Delaware Valley, they're maybe calling out one of your former teammates who, say it was hard to watch the Super Bowl. I wouldn't do that. Not me.